when Johhny, when you came out, you were like, man, in DC, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was half crazy.
It was, yeah, it was crazy. And you were doing things that you were putting yourselves next to other artists, Stacey Lattisaw and other people that were blowing up, riding behind you. And right now, man, you got one of the best voices of all time. Of all time, dude. You got one of the best voices of all time. And people want to know, like, what are you going to do? I mean, I know you was doing projects with Keith and,
from
you know.
LSG to the New Edition stuff. And it's so funny because, you know, sometimes the fans will ask me, you know, it's like, I enjoy watching you working with other people. And then, you know, it's like, well, when are you going to do your thing? And it's, you know, I don't know. I've always been one that just for some reason I put others first. I'm always sitting looking, trying to figure out how we can all do things and work with other people. And it's like it's never really about Johhny. And I think that's just that's how it's always been.
It is for us though. You know.
Small. It is for us.
I mean, with Johhny going to New Edition, it further let me know the impact that New Edition had actually made in the world.
Okay.
Greatest voice in the world, as far as a male singer, and to know that he replaced me. You know, I was kind of upset at first, but you know, on the real, no, Johhny's just a great guy. He's just a great guy and a wonderful talent, and to work with him is an honor. You know.
That's cool. People want to hear that.
He's a perfectionist too.
Is he? Is he?
He's not gonna put out an album until he knows it's right.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And let me say this. Let me say this to you, Ralph. When you came out solo and you had Sensitivity, I remember somebody from the record label delivered, played it on the air, and it was like starting to blow up, be a big hit. And he wrote me a letter. When's the last time you got a letter from an artist?
Never.
He wrote me a letter. I have it on my wall at home. He wrote me a letter. It just said thank you. And I was like, oh my God. Like Ralph wrote me a letter. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like a small time DJ on the radio in Baltimore, and you wrote me a letter, dog. But you know, and I just thought, and like for me, Ralph, for real, it don't matter what you do for the rest of your life. I'm always gonna be in your corner. Because when I was like nobody, you took the time out and wrote me a letter and said thank you. I mean, people don't say thank you no more.
And that's why we do it, right? And that's exactly why it's like we were talking about earlier about staying humble and all that stuff. When you remember things like that and you work that way, you don't know where it's going to come back to you at. But when your career is based on other people having to cooperate with you and be a part of your career, part of your life, you got to do people right because you don't know. Look at you now. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting at a point in my career years later where I could be sitting here with no outlet, nobody, you caring. I could have done something really fire to you and been in a whole other situation right now. So that's the way it plays out. And if kids out there listening, trying to get into this, keep yourself grounded, keep yourself humble, write letters to your DJs.
All right.